Good.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Nice to see you all. And settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Small group tonight. Starts out small. I close my eyes and then I open them again and then everyone's turned up. Anyway, it's like magic. All right. So just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. What do I do with my... Oh, hang on 1 second. Close your eyes. Or you can have them a little bit open if you wish. I mean, that is definitely one way that they suggest, particularly if you're falling asleep, but just slightly, the eyelids slightly cracked open. And just, you can have your feet on the floor about a hip's width apart. And resting your arms and your hands in your lap and really sitting on top of your sits bones, shoulders aligned with your hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just lengthen your spine. And if everybody could just mute themselves, please, or Michael, if you could just check everyone's muted. Thank you. Bring your mind to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp and your forehead, eyebrows, and your eyelashes. Relax the eyes, the back of the eyes, and the nose, the cheeks, and your mouth, the back of the tongue, and the jaw, back of the head, and the neck. And allow the shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. Notice the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. Be aware of all the sounds in your environment, and yet try not to run off and investigate. And just allow the sounds to be there. And bring to mind, or just notice, draw your awareness to your mental thoughts, feelings, emotions, and just see what's bubbling up for you this evening. And allow those thoughts to be there, but try not to follow with the mind. And just look at your mind with this attitude of, awareness, curiosity, wanting to get some awareness about what's there. And then just this idea of observation. So, that implies observing objectively. So not giving yourself a hard time, not allowing yourself just to follow along with any old story that sort of pops into the mind. Just notice, oh, here I am planning. Here I am ruminating. It'd be as simple as that, without getting into the weeds. And then bring to mind all the people of your life. And bring to mind the ones you love. The ones you don't like so much, and your strangers, and realizing due to impermanence, all these relationships are impermanent. They're interchangeable. And regardless of how you feel about any one of those particular groups, they're all equal, all those people. Just like you and me, they just want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they have extraordinary capacity for this Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for the benefit of all these people, and by extension, all sentient beings. So you may have your own set of sentient beings that you want to think about or dedicate, motivate for. Could be even something that's going on in your own life. And think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our minds, so equally we can create positivity as well. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we ourselves might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of suffering. And then we think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We are not looking for a higher power. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who've harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva patita drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva patita drita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next, our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters your crown quite forcefully and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this kind of overflows quite forcefully and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, and all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapadina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorekta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is this purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you walk into a room, you just flick on the switch, it's dark, and then all of a sudden that light dispels the darkness in the room. You can see everything. So imagine, some similar here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, uncomfortable feelings, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is this purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of, this negative energy from your consciousness as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Vajita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. And this is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind, or to at least think about refraining from harming. So without making any kind of decision, we're never going to do anything. So we just have to decide, this is what we want. And this decision, this determination and aspiration to not harm becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. I remember she used to talk about everything existing on the tip of the wishes. So just rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight. Those of you in your cars, those of you who it's like way past bedtime, those of you it's the middle of the day. It's not a super convenient thing to do is to turn up on Zoom always. It's not always easy. So just rejoice in your efforts for doing that. It's fantastic. And then think of maybe that there's something that you've been working on in your own mind or in your own life. Some habit, something doesn't particularly serve you or others. And just remembering this determination to not do something gives us strength to change. It's almost like gives us I don't know, it just puts the brakes on things. It's a bit like a vow to ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light, and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So we think in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So here we've got our 3 verses of chanting the names of Manjushri, and I think you'll find that it's still going on Saturday mornings. You know, there's different Sangha reciting the whole thing. It takes about half an hour. The scorching brightness from the Vajra sun with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless, and others with multicolored rays that brightly blaze. The perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dharma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated sun, the knowledge treasure from the omniscient. The sovereign king controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajra Tikshana, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable. Okay, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, happy, healthy life, the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for all of your own personal teachers. So I just wanted to plug this precious Venerable Angie, who some of you may know because she spent quite a bit of time at Dr. Noble Ling, is putting together a ritual training, and we're running it as a pilot from Vajrapani Institute. And so we managed to talk them into putting it online as well, because not many people have signed up. I think maybe me and Angie aren't famous enough or something. Anyway, so if you're interested, we're doing, it's not just of the beginning practices, we're doing prostrations and the morning, what prayers to do in the morning, we do the the morning mantras, blessing the speech. We'll be doing Surah practice outside. That'll be really only for people who are actually staying at Vajrapani. So that's between the 8th and the 11th of November. So go onto their website, and if you're interested in some of those sort of, just some of the basic practices that are really good to learn, go along there, and me and Angie we can all guide each other through that. Amy, yes.
I signed up to do it online.
Yay, really?
Yeah.
But you can teach us maybe.
Yeah, well, it's always good to refresh.
But you're so kind. Thank you so much for coming. That's really
Anyway,
cool.
just so people know, you can sign up through Zoom.
Yes,
I'm going
you can.
online too.
You're going online as well, Kimberly?
I am.
Great. That's so cool. So if anybody else wants to join us, it would be, I think it's going to be, I mean, Angie and I've worked together for lots of different situations. So, well, all at Rinpoche's house mainly, but she's great fun. She's lovely to work with, and she's working really hard on this document. I'm just kind of impressed. She's putting a lot of effort into it. So I think it's going to be quite good. And she knows a lot. and has been, you know, had lots of advice from Rinpoche. She's been ordained since she was in her 20s, I think. She's like the youngest, longest, or one of the longest ordained in our organization, about the youngest. So yeah, she's a great one, and Scottish, lovely sense of humor, makes really good tea. So if we can talk her into making chai, that'll be good. That could be your incentive for coming to Vajrapani. All right, you guys, that's enough advertising. Lots of love. I will see you on Monday. Take care, drive carefully, and yeah, see you Monday evening. All right,
Thank you
thanks.
so much,
Thank
Venerable.
Everybody.